Naoya Inoue does it again. No surprise, right? I think we all expected him to stop TJ Doheny. You and Big Bro said 5 or under. I said 6. He stopped him in the 7th. Doheny pretty much getting broken down, man. He had good moments. We kind of expected that. He has power, he has experience, but ultimately, Naoya made him say no mas. In Tokyo, Japan, it was too much for Doheny. I saw an interesting clip of him backstage. He was saying he got hit like around the hip area, couldn't feel his leg, so he couldn't go, he couldn't walk. But I saw some images of his ribs too. They were bruised up. Now it's just on another level, man. I think once he gets to 126, not sure he makes it all the way up to 130, but I think that's where we'll start seeing those real challenges. He's dominating, man. He's gone up already, what, 4 weight classes, I believe, and he's still looking good. I think in the past we haven't seen too many guys who can carry that power with them, man. We just talked about Benavides. He went up to 75. You can say he struggled a little bit. He couldn't hurt Volstic, who had been inactive for so many years. What he's doing is very impressive, and I think people gotta give him some props, man.
Yeah, first let me just say like props to Doheny for going past the rounds that me and Big Bro predicted. 7 rounds, respectable, man. You good showing, good showing. I tried to stay up, Gio. I couldn't stay up. I expected me to wake up to a 4th round chair folding. So again, props to Doheny for lasting those 7 rounds, even though it was an awkward ending to that fight at the end. But again, it just shows just how good the monster is. Again, it's like he's just doing everything that we expect, and it's all according to script. Again, you know, near flawless, fight, dominated from top to bottom. Like you said, Doheny did have some moments. So again, props to him for at least putting a few paws on the monster. But again, in a way, just too good, too complete of a fighter. And like you said, it's scary that there's still maybe 2 divisions that he can still climb. And yeah, man, again, he's just top 3.
Yeah, and let me see. Who was it? Iceman. He says, I think 5 weight classes, but I'm not sure. I believe so. Yeah, he started at, let's see, 108. He started out. Yeah, you can say 108 here. 108, 112, 115, 118, 122. Yeah, you're right. I think he's been champion in only 4 of those, though. But you know, look at this, man. 28-0, 25 KOs, undisputed at 122. You see his recent opponents there. TJ Doheny stopped him in 7. Luis Neri stopped him in 6. Marlon Tapales stopped him in 10. That's the one where he won the undisputed crown against Marlon Tapales. He stopped Fulton in 8. Stopped Paul Butler in 11. Stopped Nonito in 2. And the last opponent to survive or go the distance was Nonito Donaire almost 5 years ago, 2019, November of 2019. So, yeah, he's destroying his opponents. Naoya Inoue, I think, to me, there's no doubt 1 or 2, wherever you want to put them. If you have them outside of that, I think we got to have a conversation. But I think what's undeniable is he's a great already, Chris. He's what, 31 years old. 31 years old. And I don't see him losing anytime soon.
Yeah, like you said, the last guy to make him go the distance was Nonito Donaire, and this is a Hall of Famer. I want to say in his prime, top 3 pound for pound fighters. He is just a well conditioned fighter, and again has all the experience in the world. And we saw what Inoue did in that second fight, completely obliterated him. So again, it just shows the levels that Naoya Inoue has. And like you said, he's no young buck. He's 31. So, everything that he's going to accomplish is going to be in the next 3 to 5 years to see what else he has. And again, I don't think he's going to waste too much time. He's still fighting 3-4 times a year. Yeah, man. Again, this is one of the greatest fighters of this generation, and yeah, he's going to continue to challenge himself, and we see him going up a division or two. So yeah, we don't want to see him go too high, but we want to see him challenge himself because again, nobody in these fighter divisions are in his level.
All right, let's go to some comments here. It's so powerful. He hit TJ in the stomach and broke his back. Punched through him DBZ style, says Big Bro. TJ did better than Fulton, says Iceman. Who does he get next, Sam or MJ? Asks our boy Derek. Big Bro says they said Sam Goodman is next around Christmas. Chris, I like that MJ fight. Akhmadaliev, you've been around that camp. You're familiar with that Joel Diaz camp. They got a lot of fighters from Uzbekistan over there. MJ can box. He's a southpaw. He's powerful. I like that matchup, but man, like I said, I don't see Inoue losing to anyone anytime soon. Not at 122, even 126. I might say.
Yeah, again, MJ. When he first came on the scene years back, I was thoroughly impressed with this fighter. I was like, I don't see this guy losing. To me, he was an enigma, and I very disciplined fighter. Obviously, fighter from the eastern part of Russia over there, Uzbekistan. Those guys are hungry when they come here, man. When they get here, it's all they do is breathe and eat, fighting. So again, very disciplined fighter, very dangerous. But Inoue is just he's just really something else. So, even though they're great, he's a great guy, great camp over here with Joel Diaz. That's a tall order, but if anybody's going to push Inoue to go 7, 8, 9 rounds, it's going to be a guy like MJ. So that's a fight that they respect. They know who Inoue is. They're moving slowly, but I'm pretty sure that fight Gio is going to get made next year. I agree that they're going to go with that fighter that I mentioned earlier, and I can see Inoue getting past that guy, and eventually MJ is going to have to take that phone call, take that fight. He may have to go to Japan because it seems like all those fights are made in Japan. But yeah, man, I see that fight Gio happening next year, and I'm gonna have to say Joel Diaz and MJ are gonna have the greatest camp of their life if they want to have a shot at putting a dent in Naoya Inoue.
Yeah, and you see MJ there. Murajan Akhmadaliev, 12-1, 9 KOs, 29 years old. He did lose a split to Marlon Tapales, so we could have seen that fight for Undisputed, that Inoue MJ. Lost a split to Tapales, defeated Ronnie Rios. I think the one that put him on the map for me was the win against Daniel Roman in 2020. That was a split, but and a close fight. But I think that's the one that for me put him on the map. MJ only has 12 fights, so he fought Daniel Roman early on. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. His 9th fight it was against Roman.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just can't wait to see Inoue again. If we see him in December, I'd be happy. As we said last week, this was more of a stay busy fight. You fight a veteran with some power. Please your fans in Japan once again. Stay active. Keep racking up those W's. Keep racking up the KOs. Keep racking up the title defenses. But those two. I'm not too familiar with Sam Goodman. I'm gonna be 100% honest. But I do like that MJ matchup, and hope it happens. I hope it happens. As I said, I think it still wins, but he can only fight whoever's in front of him, and at 126, I think that's where things start getting a little dangerous for Inoue.
When I look at that record on MJ, some people might think like, oh, he doesn't have enough fights, but I think it makes him dangerous in that he's fresh. He doesn't take a whole lot of damage. And again, he's ready for war for the biggest amount of money possible available to them. So after that Crawford Madrigal fight, I don't want to discount guys, especially this camp, that don't have a whole lot of fights. Man, again, they're up there in the rankings for a reason.
Yeah, and look, let me go ahead and show you Sam Goodman, 19-0, 8 KOs, 25 years old, out of Australia. All his fights essentially in Australia. Where's our boy Boxing Kangaroo at, man? Hey, them Australians are putting in work. And we just got a fight announcement today too, right? Tim Zhu, he's fighting for one of the belts. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, man, Naoya Inoue, impressive. Go to some comments by Iceman. He agrees. He says Inoue should stay in Japan. No need to fight anywhere else. He's making the money. He says, yeah, and a lot of people in those arenas in Japan, I'm sure he's getting big bags. He's fighting. What is it over there? Is it a Wednesday or what is it over there? And I don't think it's Tuesday, right?
I think they're a day ahead, don't you?
They're 16 hours ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know they'd be celebrating the New Year way before us, man. So
they're ahead of time. Let's just put it like that. They're ahead of their time. They're ahead of time. But Iceman always says, I seen the size difference with TJ and Inoue. Yeah, TJ looked solid, man. He looked big. He looked muscular, but man, that body shot was crazy. Crazy. And TJ kind of he grabbed his back. I don't know. I can't remember exactly if it was a previous round, but I think it landed a shot kind of in the back, and Doheny kind of felt that. And then kind of odd how the fight ended. Doheny kind of put his hand up, kind of walked away. Referee was like, "What the hell's going on?" Eventually, TJ Doheny took a knee, and referee was just like, "I'm stopping this." And yeah, they had to pretty much help TJ Doheny walk out of the ring because he couldn't do it on his own. But destruction. That's what's on Inoue's mind, and looking forward to what's next, man. To see who's next for him.
I'm sure Team Inoue will know what their limits are, and hopefully they stay, on that limit. But yeah, man, I can't wait for the next year to see the next two fights, and hopefully it's MJ that gets that call, and I know that's going to be a great fight.
1000%. And look, just to show you guys the fights where Inoue came to the U.S. because Big Bro said, Aram said that. He says the Godfather said Monster is coming to Vegas in 2025. Yeah, he said that after on the post-fight interview, hinting that Inoue was going to fight here in the States. He fought here in September of 2017. That was on the Chocolatito and Sorong Visay undercard. That's the one where Chocolatito was stopped. Juan Francisco Estrada fought Carlos Cuadras on the undercard. Man, where were we? Man, what were we doing? We were sleeping. That's what we were doing, man. That was a great card right here. Inoue against Antonio Nieves. He won in the 6th round. Brian Valoria was also on that. Iniesta Estrada. Man, that was a good card. Man, they don't make them like that anymore unless it's turkeys involved. But yeah, that was 2017. And then he fought twice in a row. Well, he fought Emmanuel Rodriguez in the UK, Glasgow, Scotland. That's a very good opponent. People don't give him credit for that, but 19-0 Puerto Rican champion. He fought Jason Maloney and Michael Dasmariñas in the US back-to-back in 2020 and 2021, which it's tough, man, because look, those two guys don't have a name like that. So are you really getting up for these guys? Or do you really want to travel, 20 hours across the world to go fight a guy like Michael Dasmariñas in the US, where you can just fight him in your backyard in Tokyo, Japan, and probably make more money? Like, it's difficult. They got to bring a good, tough opponent. Maybe that Stephen Fulton fight in the US would have made sense, but even then, Fulton doesn't have a name like that. So Nettie, that would have been great if that happens in LA. I think that was a missed opportunity there. Kind of start selling Naoya Inoue to the Mexican fans. They They like those guys who can box, who can punch, who can brawl when they need to. So, in my opinion, lost opportunity. But as I said, if you're making more money fighting in Japan, why would you travel across the world, to fight in the U.S.?